I don't believe I should. The party is
every man got the right to decide his own destiny. And in this judgment there is no partiality. So harm in harm.
Thank you for joining us. My name is GK from Unique Africa Media Group for yet another exclusive interview with our attorney at law, Mr Nyasha Mapanzure. Welcome, sir.
Welcome. Pleasure to be with you.
Thank you, sir. I believe most of you were eager to know and to find out what the attorney will say after the BBC interview with Steve Saka when Chamisa was scrutinized and not knowing what to say.
Well,
what do you say, sir?
Well, that's a very interesting event that took place in UK. Firstly, you know, I don't even know the purpose why Chamisa had to go to the UK. We saw that there was a crowd gathered to see him, and he liked the show. He liked to be felt as the coming messiah for the people of Zimbabwe. And these people whom he was meeting, the Zimbabweans in there,
yes,
do not have any effect to the elections which are coming in July. The intention of visiting them, I really don't know why. But now, speaking about the interview with Stephen Saka, well, I was really shocked. I almost went underneath the bed because I was terrified, because I could see in Chamisa's eyes that he was clueless. He was not expecting such kind of questions coming from Stephen, and Stephen was asking questions which the international community asked, which the whole world really wants to know. Is the difference that Chamisa did not understand is politics in Zimbabwe is being seen world over, and whatever statement he makes, the world sees. So he thinks when he's at these rallies and there are all those young guys making noise, he thinks the things he says to them and try to excite these young people only remain at that rally. He doesn't know that it goes everywhere. Millions, billions of people begin to see these interviews. He makes reckless statements. He's been known of making reckless statements, and Stephen Saka wanted to pin him on those issues. The issue of the bullet trains. Stephen even gave me a simple calculation on issues and he even wanted to defend. There was no need to defend it. And he was also given the issue of meeting Trump. You know, I was so embarrassed. I felt the person to blame is actually Tendai Biti, because Tendai Biti knows what he's doing. He's using Nelson Chamisa to be his puppet in dealing with all these messy issues. He knew that Stephen Saka was going to come strong.
But sir, if you look on that interview, if you listen very carefully, he even referred that when he was still with Tendai Biti, when Chamisa was the Minister of Technology and Tendai Biti was the Minister of Finance, they managed to solve the cash crisis in 4 days.
Well, I mean, look here, that was the government of national unity.
Yes.
Remember, it was not only them who were involved, everyone played a part. And I've always said, and I'm going to say it again, Nelson Chamisa is a very brilliant, sharp lawyer. He's a guy who's proved to be very good as a minister. When he was in IT, Robert Mugabe called him a supersonic minister. He did his things to the point. But now, here we are. He still wants to use that supersonic speed, which Stephen could easily catch from his behavior, because so much speed does not make you deliver what people want. He's using speed. If you recall, Stephen Saka says, the way you got into power, soon after Morgan Tsvangirai had died. Wasn't that too fast? And the way you are doing things, you are sure the world is watching, remember? And the world are seeing a supersonic a man who's doing things with so much speed at so little time. He wants to achieve the presidency in the next couple of months, he wants to make sure that he's president and everyone loves him and the world will accept him. But now things don't work that way. Stephen Saka made it clear to him. He said to him, do you know that the British government, the British people, are in favor of Emmerson Mnangagwa? And it is true. Once you are in favor of the British government, once you are in favor of the West, your chances of winning and your chances of gaining popularity world over are high. At this stage, we see Emmerson Mnangagwa being elevated by Stephen Saka in his interview.
But look at this. You just mentioned that Emmerson Mnangagwa has got the support of the British and the Europeans, but they are not the ones who cast a vote. It is the Zimbabwean. Who is supporting Emmerson Mnangagwa in Zimbabwe? And who is supporting Nelson Chamisa in Zimbabwe?
At the end of the day, you know, we live in a global village. We live in a global community. There is no way Zimbabweans will just live outside the world. You need great powers like the Great Britain itself to be on your side. And whoever is right-minded would want to be on the side of Great Britain. If Great Britain is saying they are siding for Emmerson Mnangagwa, it means that investor confidence is going to go high as far as Emmerson Mnangagwa is concerned. And his policies have been received by the West, and the West are accepting them. Unlike Chamisa, he made a reckless statement that as soon as he gets into power, he wants all the Asians out. I mean, that's a reckless political statement. Why? He says these things out of excitement, trying to please, you know, those young toughs.
But
who
isn't it that he learned it from the best? When Robert Mugabe was in power, he removed the white. Isn't he just copying and doing the same? What's the difference now?
Well, the time when Robert Mugabe, 1980s, and the time we are, it's really different.
Yes.
The world is now a solid time, it's a solid place where we've got now cell phones, we've got internet, we've got Wi-Fi. We are now a global village. It's unlike long time ago during the Robert Mugabe's time, where you would really have to write a letter and know what the other person says after it has reached the other area. Now things are done quickly, and there's interaction, and there's answers to questions which can be done from Europe to Africa in just a single tape of a sound.
Okay, so tell me, so Emmerson Mnangagwa at his age against Nelson Chamisa, you know, Nelson Chamisa, Steve Saka said, you are rushing, you are running with them. I think the reason he's running is because Zimbabwe needs change. Everyone needs change, and we are looking forward to change. Do you think ED is the change that people want, or is just a new face?
You see, what people should really look into is what are the policies that Emmerson Mnangagwa is bringing. You know, even if you look at the BBC interview, Stephen Saka said it clearly. What Emmerson Mnangagwa has done, why the West is saying Emmerson Mnangagwa is a good deal for them. He has introduced the indigenization law, which he removed the issues which Mugabe had enacted, whereby investor confidence had gone to zero. Why? Because the investors would come, and all of a sudden someone from somewhere is now head of your company. That was removed. And that is what the West wants. That is what the people in the Western countries are looking for. What did Chamisa? Chamisa should have gone on the BBC and given Stephen Saka the policies that he wants for Zimbabwe. But what did he go there to say? He went there to criticize Emmerson Mnangagwa and only say that I'm going to win. No matter what, I'm going to win. That is really what he went on BBC to say.
Because it seems Nelson Chamisa seems certain he will win. Looking at his interview, if you just see, he was certain that he's going to win.
Remember, last time I said, a crowd does not give you data. You know, he's been excited by a crowd. You see, the strategy that he's using is not the strategy of winning elections.
Yes.
He's believing that the crowds are voters. The crowds are not voters. The crowds are people. These are people who are coming. Remember, even Robert Mugabe had these crowds. Each and every time Robert Mugabe would have a rally, there would be thousands of people. But did it mean that the people loved him? It didn't mean that. voters are people who are registered to vote.
Yes.
I was talking to a young chap just a couple of days ago. He was very bitter at me, saying, no, you don't like Nelson Chamisa. I said, no, it's not about me not liking Nelson. I like Nelson Chamisa, nothing against him, but I analyze things on the ground. I can see the way he's going, the speed he's going at, he's going to have a serious accident. So now I was saying to this young chap, look here, are you a registered voter? The young chap was very bitter defending Nelson Chamisa. He's not a registered voter. He doesn't even have an ID. But he follows Chamisa at every rally. And I said, young man, the first thing you have to do is go and get an ID. If you don't have parents, find anyone in your rural areas who can come and witness. Find a chief or a sabuku who will help you to get a birth certificate. And then you can be someone who's intelligent. Because as long as you are going to be a person who's going to be chanting for Nelson Chamisa without identity, you are just a shame.
Okay. All right, sir. Just, I want to calm you down, sir. We have seen recent ZANU-PF gurus joining MGC like Basket. Does this slow the end of ZANU-PF?
I loved when I saw Nelson Chamisa. He keeps on using Baskiti. That is a wrong political move. Baskiti is a non-event. Look where he's been all over. Soon after, he was with Joyce Mujuru, and then a few months later on, he's no longer with Joyce Mujuru. He's now lost in the middle of nowhere, and now he goes to MDC, and then they are using someone like Baskiti, someone who doesn't think, a sana old man. I think Baskiti should just join the ranks of Robert Mugabe, find a farm where he can go and rest. The guy is old, he doesn't think straight, he doesn't know what he's doing, and Nelson Chamisa, hear it from me, you don't need people like Baskiti. That is old politics, which was done many years ago. You can win by your own character, not by using Baskiti. So you don't need to put in Baskiti in your elections as a tool to garner support. You can do that on your own without involving these guys.
But sir, you just mentioned that in old politics. Isn't it that ED also is bringing the old politics?
Now,
what new did you?
You see, the politics that ED is doing is business politics. He's a businessman. He's very business-minded guy. So what he knows is people are talking about bread and butter issues. So these are the issues that he is addressing all over when he's visiting other countries. He said Zimbabwe is open for business. Yes. And what people want is to know are their investment going to be safe in Zimbabwe?
Yeah.
And once they've got the guarantee that Zimbabwe is going to be a safe haven for their investment, people are going to come and invest. People are not going to come and invest because simply Nelson Chamisa has taken power. You see, people need security for their investment, and they need to know, are we investing with the right people? Are these the right policies? This is where the English people come in. They notice these things. These are people who, the democracy is talking about. He copied it from the British. They brought it to us, and they know exactly the kind of person who's suitable to win elections. And as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of other people in the West are concerned, ED's got a very good chance of winning the elections. But look here, either way, the elections can go either way. If it goes for Emmerson Mnangagwa, it's going to be good for the people of Zimbabwe. If it goes for Nelson Chamisa, it's going to be good for the people of Zimbabwe. So either way, this is going to be a very good elections for the people of Zimbabwe. At the end of the day, the people of Zimbabwe are going to win. Whether it's Emmerson Mnangagwa, good policies. Whether it's Nelson Chamisa, good policies, I hope. And whichever way, I see the people of Zimbabwe winning.
Okay, sir, I have one more question for you. Tell me, MGC, ZANU-PF, whose message is the world receiving?
Well, that's what I was just saying now. The world is receiving Emmerson Mnangagwa's message more than they are receiving Nelson Chamisa's message. Nelson Chamisa's message is being received on the ground by people who do not have birth certificates, by people who have never voted in their lives. These are the people who are chanting for Nelson Chamisa, people who find something to do during the day when they go for their rallies. They find somewhere to go. These are young, unemployed kids, young, unemployed teenagers who are at his rallies, full of nyaupe. full of all these funny drugs.
Isn't it? They want hope. They're looking for hope.
Hope is coming. Either way, that's why I said either way, hope is coming for Zimbabwe. What the Zimbabweans did, which was good, was to end Robert Mugabe. But also speaking about Robert Mugabe, I want to say there are a lot of things that even after removing Robert Mugabe, there are a lot of things that Robert Mugabe has done which people will only notice maybe years later.
Yes.
But we needed him out of power so that the new dispensation can come in. What is the new dispensation? The new dispensation is creating a friendly economy for the people of Zimbabwe. Once the economy is friendly for the people of Zimbabwe, once people have jobs,
Yes.
once industries start functioning,
Yes.
then the country is back to become the breadbasket of Africa. So either way, Chamisa, Emmerson Mnangagwa, the people of Zimbabwe are going to win. The people of Zimbabwe are destined for a new Zimbabwe, for a great Zimbabwe, and come July, everyone in Zimbabwe is going to be happy. And it's going to be good to be called Zimbabwean again.
Okay, just tell me in terms of this part, MTC and ZANU-PF, which party is strategically ready for the elections? Just looking after everything that is happening, after the debates that have been, which part do you think is strategically ready?
Strategy. I like that. Strategy is the most important tool in winning elections. And why I'm going to say that Emmerson Mnangagwa has got a good strategy is because they know their voters. They know the people who are going to vote. Nelson Chamisa is depending on speculation on what he sees.
Sorry, sir, just to hold you there. If you say they know their voters, are these voters the one they manipulated long back? Are they the voters they forced to vote or what?
No.
If you can specify that.
Like ZANU-PF has got what are called cell systems.
Yes.
Right. Each cell knows the people, the number of people in a cell. For instance, if you can create your cell at your own area, and then in your cell you know you've got 12 people, and you are certain that these are cadres who are going to vote. These are people who've got ZANU-PF at heart. So obviously now you know that this cell, we've got this number. This cell, we've got this number. This cell, we've got this number.
Yes.
And people are laughing, saying, "Oh, Emmerson Mnangagwa is going to churches, religious, and doing this and doing that."
I think that's happening.
Those are voters. Those people are voters. Those people are going to vote. Why? Because they are going to be instilled that in their hearts that this is the right person to vote for. So now, is Ghana support?
So are you saying that going to the churches is the way of another strategy of winning people's
it's a
vote?
good strategy because I mean the churches, they are people. Those people are being told that Emmerson Mnangagwa is the right man for the job. And this is what their leader is saying. Their leader is saying the right person for the job is Emmerson Mnangagwa. Go and vote for him. And they will vote for him.
Isn't it part of manipulation that you use the religious leader to tell to them? Because basically, people who come to church, they believe in their leader. So in other words, if your leader or your prophet or your pastor tells you this is the right thing, are you going to, is it your choice or you're doing it based on faith or belief?
As long as I believe he's a man of God, sent of God, well, I'm going to believe what he's saying and I'm going to go with what he's saying. So, well, it's a good strategy. You're asking me of strategies. This is a good strategy. And it's going to work. It's going to work on the advantage of Emmerson Mnangagwa. And I wouldn't want to mention the churches, but they've got massive numbers of people. Massive, I'm telling you. They can fill an entire stadium. So don't be disappointed when you see in July that Emmerson Mnangagwa is...
No, sir, we are looking forward to see if Emmerson Mnangagwa will definitely do it. But I've got one more question for you. Does the NPF have a voice in the outcome of the elections?
Well, the NPF, as I said the other time, is a non-event. It is a political party which was created with the intention of destabilizing ZANU-PF. These are old ZANU-PF guys who were thrown out of the party, who decided then that they create a new party in order to shake the votes of ZANU-PF under President Emmerson Mnangagwa. But you see, a party which is being led by people who are hiding somewhere, God knows where, Kasukuvere and Jonathan Moya, are the leaders of that party. They're the guys who are controlling that party. How can you rule a party when you are hiding under a table? I mean, that party is going to break any time. Look at the party now. They are now firing their leader. They don't want him anymore. Simply because Kasukwere, where he is, he's saying he doesn't want him. He wants to put in someone else. It's a joke. That party is a joke, and it's supported by Robert Mugabe. And Robert Mugabe is lost his mind. The other day he had put a red carpet for himself to walk on his. I mean, but this is the kind of party. These are the kind of the leaders, and their wise mentor Robert Mugabe has gone cuckoo. It's gone crazy, and it's actually a joke that party is still existing.
But look at this. You are saying these are the old guys of ZANU-PF. I believe the other gurus who made the strategy of ZANU-PF, the other ones who made the policies of ZANU-PF. Don't you think that they know the weakness or the weak point of ZANU-PF, and they know how to deal with even it?
Yeah, you see, the only problem that they are making is they're being led by people who are out in hiding, and people who are not on the ground in Zimbabwe. You see, Kasukwere is hiding from his criminal activities. Jonathan Moya is hiding from his criminal activities. These are the people who are leading a party. How can a party be led by a gang of criminals who are not there on the ground? You see, that is why it's disintegrating bit by bit. That is why leadership wrangles are now starting in the party, because it's been led by people who don't know what is happening in the country. Yes, these guys are ZANU-PF old scouts, but now the new dispensation is coming with a new revolutionary theory of Zimbabwe is open for business. It's now business to all. It's now whoever's got the money to come and do business in Zimbabwe should come and do business with pleasure. Whoever can mine any mineral, save for those which are controlled by the government, can come and make money in Zimbabwe. There is a lot of potential in Africa, a lot of potential in Zimbabwe, a lot of minerals which can make Zimbabwe a great nation, a great country, a place where people will fly all over the world to come and see. And these elections go either way, Zimbabwean people are going to be happy.
So say you're telling me that NPF is just...
NPF is a non-event. I'm really sorry, it's a non-event. It's something that Kasukwere, Robert Mugabe, Grace, and those people wanted to create, but tough luck for them. It's a non-event. Nobody's going to give them the ground they want. Nobody's going to give them the audience they want anyway. They are a non-event and should really decide which party to join between ZANU-PF or MDC.
Thank you so much again, sir.
Yes.
Once again,
Pleasure.
it has been a pleasure having you in this studio today. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the attorney of law. If you believe and if you think that you've got what it takes to come and defend the other party, feel free to follow us on Facebook, even our WhatsApp group, Instagram. We are here to bring you the latest in what's happening. This is GK from Unique Africa Media Group.